Good evening and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world in 30 minutes. Let's begin. On New Year's Eve 2026, President Draupadi Murmu extended warm greetings to citizens at home and abroad, stating that the new year represents renewed energy and positive change. Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted the nation on the second anniversary of Ram Lala's Pran Pratishtha in Ayodhya, calling it a divine festival of faith and traditions, offering salutations to Lord Ram. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on January the 3rd will inaugurate an exposition of the sacred Piprava relics, which will be hosted at a heritage site in New Delhi. Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, Dr. L. Murugan, officially unveiled the Government of India's 2026 calendar themed Bharat at 2026. The annual Government of India calendar for the year 2026 launch took place in the presence of other senior government officials. The calendar reflects government's vision, themes and national priorities for the coming year. Addressing the launch, the minister talked about India's strong institution and long-term vision. Secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting Sanjay Jaju also highlighted how the Government of India calendar 2026 reflects India's diversity through its monthly themes. The Election Commission of India has issued revised dates for the ongoing special intensive revision in North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. As per the revised schedule, the draft publication of the electoral roll will now be made on 6th of January 2026. Security has been tightened across India's capital ahead of New Year celebrations, with Delhi police deploying thousands of personnel to maintain law and order. The Central Board of Secondary Education has announced the revised dates of board examinations for Class 10th and 12th. According to CBSE, Class 10th grade students' examination will now be held on the 11th of March next year. Date for Class 12th examination has been moved to 10th of April, which was scheduled on 3rd March in the next year. Indian Railways indigenous Vande Bharat sleeper train successfully completed high-speed trials, reaching 180 kilometers on Kota-Nagra section, advancing self-reliant premium overnight travel. Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw shared videos of indigenous sleeper train hitting 180 kilometers per hour. Water glasses remain steady without spilling, highlighting superior suspension and stability. Retiring Vice Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Narmadeshwar Tiwari laid wreath at National War Memorial in Delhi, marking his superannuation on Wednesday. Indian Army counts down 15 days to Army Day 2026 parade in Rajasthan's Jaipur, honouring valour, sacrifice and timeless legacy with stirring tributes. In the Union Cabinet briefing held on Wednesday, the Government of India announced several major infrastructure approvals aimed at enhancing national connectivity. Union Health Ministry has banned the manufacture, sale and distribution of all oral formulations containing popular painkiller Nimsulid above 100 mg, citing serious risk to health. Enforcement Directorate has attached an immovable property worth 150 crore rupees near the Buckingham Palace in London in a case of alleged bank loan fraud linked to money laundering involving textile major S. Kumar's Nationwide Limited and its ex-CMD Nitin Kasliwal. India and Israeli teams are expected to meet next month on the proposed free trade agreement as per reports on Wednesday. In November, India and Israel inked terms of reference to formally start negotiations for the agreement, which aimed at boosting bilateral trade and investments. In business, the Indian indices ended in green as of the market closes on December the 31st. The Sensex closed at 85,212.28. The Nifty 50 closed at 26,127.15 on Wednesday, with both indices seeing gains on the final trading day of the year. Indian rupee ended at 89.87 per US dollar, down 0.1% from previous close. Global oil prices traded flat on New Year's Eve 2025 in thin holiday volumes, with Brent around $62 per barrel and WTI near $58, capping a steep 18 to 20% annual decline amid oversupply fears. Global gold prices traded quietly on New Year's Eve in thin volumes, setting around 4,350 USD per ounce after volatility, capping a remarkable year with over 70% gains. Global silver prices dipped slightly on December the 31st in thin trading, settling around $74 per ounce after volatility, capping a stellar year with over 160% gains. Cryptocurrencies traded mixed on New Year's Eve 2025 in thin volumes, with Bitcoin hovering near $88,300 and Ethereum around $2,950 amid year-end consolidation. Asian stocks are closing 2025 mixed in thin holiday trading, with many markets closed. Regional indices posted strongest annual gains in 8 years on AI boom. European stocks closed higher on the final trading day of 2025, with Stoxx 600 up slightly, reaching a new record high. The index was on track for an annual gain of around 17% for the year, marking its strongest performance since 2021. US stocks edged lower in thin holiday trade on final day of 2025, while the dollar holds steady near 98 amid year-end positioning. Trump administration imposed sanctions on 10 Iranian and Venezuelan entities for involvement in Iranian drone production and sales. The new US sanctions come as US President ramped up pressure on Venezuela by imposing sanctions on President Nicolas Maduro and ordering military strikes on a facility he said was used as a dock for alleged drug boats. In an update from Thailand and Cambodia conflict, Thailand on Wednesday released 18 Cambodian soldiers held for 5 months as prisoners of war, days after a fresh truce between the nations. Colombian President Gustavo Petro on Tuesday said the United States bombed a suspected drug factory in Venezuela's port city of Maracaibo. In social media post, Colombian president suggested the facility was operated by ELN guerrilla group, which partially controls the cocaine-producing Catatumbo region on the border of Venezuela. Chinese warships and Coast Guard vessels are withdrawing from waters around Taiwan, the island's Coast Guard said on Wednesday, with Beijing's military drills appearing to be over. China conducted live-fire drills with missiles, dozens of jets, warships and Coast Guard vessels on Monday and Tuesday to simulate Taiwan blockade and port assaults. China flexed its military muscle after major US arms sales to Taiwan and Japan's PM warning of potential military response. Israel has warned on Tuesday that it would suspend 37 aid organizations operating in Gaza from January for failing to provide details about their Palestinian staff. Russia retaliated with drone strikes in Odessa, wounding 6, including 3 children, and disrupting utilities after Ukrainian attacks hit Tuapse refinery and Belgorod, injuring several. Iranian students staged street protests in Tehran and several other cities on Tuesday, a day after shopkeepers demonstrated against economic hardship. Protests were reported at 10 universities, highlighting growing unrest over the country's economic crisis. Security forces and riot police were deployed near universities and major intersections in Tehran as protests continued. Meanwhile, President Masoud Pezeshkian met labor leaders to discuss economic measures. Hundreds of thousands of them gathered at Manik Mia Avenue in Dhaka as former Bangladesh Prime Minister Begum Khalida Zia was laid to rest following a state funeral, with her body brought to the Parliament complex under full state protocol. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus, members of the interim government, BNP leaders and representatives of other political parties attended Khalida Zia's funeral prayers, reflecting nationwide mourning. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, along with delegates from Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan and other South and Southeast Asian countries, paid their final respect as major roads around Manikmia Avenue remain packed. Bulgaria is set to adopt the euro from January the 1st next year, becoming the 21st member of the Eurozone. As a symbolic gesture, the European Central Bank in Frankfurt was lit up in Bulgaria's colours. Denmark's state-run postal service PostNord delivered its final letter on Tuesday, ending over 400 years of traditional mail service, the country fully shifting to digital communication now. A train driver was killed and around 40 people were injured after two tourist trains collided head-on on the railway leading to Peru's Machu Picchu on Tuesday. Authorities said several of the injured were in serious condition. Police are investigating the crash involving Inca Rail and Peru Rail services that ferry visitors to Machu Picchu. Officials confirmed foreign tourists were among the injured. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro underwent an unscheduled procedure on Tuesday at a Brasilia hospital to treat persistent hiccups after recently being released from prison for hernia surgery. Time to take a short break. We'll be right back.
कम समय में ज्यादा मुनाफा बस एक क्लिक में कमाल है।
अनजान लिंक्स पर क्लिक मत कीजिए। आरबीआई कहता है
जानकार बनिए, सतर्क रहिए।
वर्क फ्रॉम होम, हाई सैलरी, बस एक क्लिक में। अरे वाह!
अनजान लिंक्स पर क्लिक मत कीजिए। आरबीआई कहता है
जानकार बनिए, सतर्क रहिए।
Welcome back. Let's continue. A magnitude 5.3 earthquake struck Susanville, California, in the U.S. on Tuesday, the United States Geological Survey confirmed. Indian Meteorological Department has issued a warning of severe cold and snowfall in the higher regions of Uttarakhand. Authorities are urging people to check the latest weather updates before travelling. Due to adverse weather conditions, all schools and Anganwadi centres in Nainital, Haridwar and Udham Singh Nagar districts have been closed. Under the influence of western disturbance, IMD earlier stated that heavy rain or snowfall is very likely in Jammu region between December the 30th and the 1st of January, bringing an end to the prolonged dry spell. Dense fog has engulfed the national capital. The visuals from Chandni Chowk and several other parts of Delhi show zero visibility in the morning amid cold weather conditions. Several cities in Uttar Pradesh, including Prayagraj, Lucknow and Mathura, are facing cold waves and are covered in fog, significantly affecting visibility on roads and highways. Dense fog envelopes Sukhna Lake in Chandigarh with migrating birds swimming in the chilly waters, according to IMD. Dense fog conditions are likely to spread during morning and night hours at isolated pockets over Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh. Dense fog has disrupted boat services at Chilika Lake in Odisha on the last day of the year, affecting tourist movement in the area. Poor visibility forced the authorities to suspend operations as a safety measure. Several flights at Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport were delayed due to dense fog, impacting both arrivals and departures. Low visibility disrupted operations during the early hours. Authorities advised passengers to check flight updates before the travel. As visibility improves, Delhi Airport authorities said flight operations are continuing normally across all the terminals. Passengers have been advised to check real-time flight information with their respective airlines before heading to the airport. London gears up for its spectacular New Year's Eve firework with over 12,000 pyrotechniques launching at midnight from Thames barges and the London Eye in a 12-minute display. France all set to impose a ban on disposable cups containing plastic, which was due to come into force on 1st of January, but it has now been pushed back to 2030 by the government. Chocolate in UAE is facing rising production costs, reflecting a broader trend of global cocoa price fluctuations. However, demand for UAE's famous camel milk chocolate remains steady. In a historic building in central Tripoli, Libyans stroll past ancient statues and artifacts, reconnecting with a shared heritage that rises above political divisions at the National Museum that reopened this month after being closed since the 2012 uprising. Khmer classical dance, known in Cambodia for its graceful hand movements and ornate costumes, is facing growing challenge from changing entertainment tastes, limited funding and economic pressures. People are going out for picnic to secure the best position to watch New Year fireworks in Australia's harbour city, Sydney. Parties have been paused for a minute of silence at 11 p.m. as the famed Sydney Harbour Bridge bathed in white light to symbolise peace. In a wing of Paris City Hall, the Women's Day Centre has been providing daytime reception and shelter for women living alone on the streets since 2018 as part of city's severe cold plan. Opening hours are extended and the centre is now operating on weekends as well. Sri Lanka is highlighting its centuries-old Ayurvedic heritage with the launch of new medicinal and herbal products by a state-owned institution. The Sri Lanka Ayurvedic Drugs Corporation has announced to introduce 7 new Ayurvedic and herbal products. Children living in urban areas of Mongolia were becoming increasingly disconnected from Mongolia's rich cultural heritage. In response, a traditional Mongolian hunting and birding heritage house has been established to help preserve and promote national traditions. In Mongolia's capital, Ulaanbaatar, a group of pet dogs live a lavish life, regularly groomed and treated as family by their owner, who loves them like their own children. International fashion and culture magazine Vogue has named Vietnam one of Asia's most attractive travel destinations for the year 2026. According to the renowned publication, Vietnam's appeal lies in the harmony between striking natural landscapes and rich cultural heritage. Heavy snowfall across Batman, a province in southeastern Turkey, has transformed the city centre and the historic district of Hasankeyf into striking winter scenes. As part of broader health sector reforms, authorities of Vietnam are making efforts to boost timely examination and treatment at health facilities. Many localites are strengthening professional support for primary health care to ensure earlier care for patients. The Corbett Tiger Reserve authorities have issued a special advisory for tourists, urging everyone to strictly comply with prescribed timings and noise limits during their New Year celebrations. Tourists gathered at the lake city Udaipur to celebrate the last day of 2025 with full celebrating spirit. A large crowd was seen participating in activities like boating at the Fateh Sagar Lake. Netflix released the final trailer for Stranger Things Season 5's epic finale, teasing an ultimate showdown as worlds collide. The 2-hour episode streams on New Year's Eve. An American comedy drama television series, The Shrinking Season 3 trailer is out, teasing Michael J. Fox's acting comeback after a break due to Parkinson's disease. Marvel has released the second teaser of Avengers Doomsday, focusing on Thor's emotional preparation for the battle. The film is slated for release on the 18th of December next year. American actor IST Jr., best known for his role in HBO's crime drama The Wire, has died at the age of 71. He was also widely known for his performances in several films directed by Spike Lee, his manager confirmed. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan visited actor Mohanlal's residence to offer his condolences following the demise of the veteran actor's mother, expressing solidarity with the family during the time of grief. Bollywood actor Ranveer Singh's spy action film Dhurandhar has crossed 1100 crore rupees worldwide by day 26. Directed by Aditya Dhar, the film remains strong even in its 4th week. The makers of Toxic, a fairy tale for grown-ups, have unveiled Nayantara's first look as Ganga from the film. Starring Yash, the film is written and directed by Geetu Mohandas. Toxic is set for a theatrical release on the 19th of March next year and will release in multiple languages. The first Hindi song, Jiye Tere Hi Sahare, from Thalapathy Vijay's Jan Neta has been released, with the film scheduled for January the 9th, Pongal release. The motion poster for Pan-India multilingual film Father, starring Prakash Raj and Darling Krishna, in a heartfelt father-son story directed by Raj Mohan, has been released, with theatrical launch expected soon. The new vibrant song Dhania from upcoming Hindi mass entertainer 1-2 Cha 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 is out now, with the film hitting the theatres on the 16th of January. Indian Grandmaster Arjun Erigaisi won the bronze medal at FIDE World Blitz Championship 2025 in Doha on Tuesday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended his heartfelt congratulations to Grandmaster Arjun Erigaisi, saying that his successes will continue to inspire the youth. World's #1 chess player Grandmaster Magnus Carlsen won the World Blitz Championship in Doha on Tuesday. Former Australian batter Damien Martyn, aged 54, is in a Queensland hospital after suffering meningitis. India clinched a 5-0 whitewash over Sri Lanka in Women's T20I series, winning the final match in Thiruvananthapuram by 15 runs. This was India's third 5-0 sweep in T20 internationals, following similar clean sweeps against West Indies in 2019 and Bangladesh in 2024. Australian all-rounders Elisa Perry and Annabelle Sutherland have withdrawn from next month's Women's Premier League, citing personal reasons. Former cricketer Isa Guha, the first woman of South Asian descent to appear for England in any sport, was awarded an NBE in King's New Year's Honours for services to inclusivity and cricket. Rashid Khan will lead Afghanistan at T20 World Cup next year as they name their 15-member squad for the tournament in India and Sri Lanka. Premier League leader Arsenal slammed the door shut on charging Aston Villa with a 4-1 home thrashing of Unai Emery's side on Tuesday that kept it clear at the top of the table going into the new year. Chelsea missed the chance of leapfrog Liverpool into 4th place after playing out an enthralling 2-2 draw with AFC Bournemouth at Stamford Bridge. Real Madrid fans attended an open training session on Tuesday at the club's facilities ahead of the new year, showing strong support for the team amid hopes for an improved campaign in 2026. 10-man Senegal overcame a gallant Benin 3-0 on Tuesday to finish top of Group D at the Africa Cup of Nations finals in Morocco. Ivory Coast manager on Tuesday said that they will give their all against eliminated Gabon and aim to top their group in their final group stage match of the Africa Cup of Nations. And Novak Djokovic has revealed that he's in no rush to walk away from tennis and intended to keep on playing for as long as he's competing at the top level. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India in the upcoming year as well. Wishing you all a very happy New Year's Eve and a very happy New Year as well. Allow us to take a leave. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.